Good morning, trading world. It is October 6th, 2022, just after 8 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. And this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. The title of today's pre-market is Two Sigma Moves Becoming the Norm. I don't want you to get lulled to sleep. I often talk about market makers' expected move and the dynamic hedging that follows once we break outside the lower or upper edge. What is crazy is that we are not only just breaking outside of the market makers' expected move every so often, or just barely breaking outside. We are consistently breaking outside and doing two sigma moves on a regular basis. Two sigma is just another way of saying we breaking outside the market maker's expected move by 2 times the standard move. The expected move for this week was plus or minus 12 handles. And we were almost 12 handles above the upper edge yesterday. This is huge. This is the equivalent to saying California is having earthquakes every week, but not just small earthquakes, but in the magnitude of 8.8 on the Richter scale on a regular basis. Right now, I feel like the market is getting desensitized to the moves, so you are relaxed back into putting on large amounts of risk. Don't fall for it, because there will be another spike down and it will be fast and large, so be careful. Today's plan, I will be looking for a short around the 380 to 384 area based on how the hourly and 4-hour chart indicators are what they tell me. But only holding a part of it overnight. So that's saying we should get another pullback late this evening at some point. So with that, let's get into the key levels to watch for today. All right, here we are back with the key levels for today. Everything is pretty much the same as yesterday. We'll go through it again. We have our jack resistance at 375 to the 376 area. Then we have our queen resistance 377 to the 379 area. And then, of course, our king resistance 380 to the 383, maybe 384 area. On the support side, we have our jack support at 373 to the 372 area. Then we have our queen support 371 to the 369 area. And then king support 368 to the 366 area. I do believe that at some point during the overnight session, we're going to reach back down into this 371, 369 area. So that's just something to keep your eye on, and that's why when I get short today, it's primarily an intraday short, but with a part of it being held to basically Friday morning, because I'm not sure whether we get the pop pre-market or whether we sink overnight and then start that pop during the cash session. So I want to make sure that I take some profit if it does reach the level that I'm looking for. I want to make sure that I take some of that profit off of the table before closing today. And also, I will probably be taking off because I do have some bull put spreads on as well, some bullish positions that I'll probably be looking and checking to take some profit on as well, or at least breaking the legs on so that there's a bearish remainder out there. That brings us to the thesis for today. The main thesis is bearish, closing below 377.09 with a projected target low of between 376 and 366. The alternate thesis is bullish, closing above the 377.09 with a projected target high between 377 and 383. As I talked about yesterday, there was dissonance in the market, meaning that the quant side and the technical side that I pay close attention to were in disagreement of each other. This morning, we do have agreement where, let me make sure, yes, the technical side and both the quant side are in agreement that today we will end bearish. So expect that pop today, but I am looking for late in the day to go bearish and closing back below that 377.09. The current major channel we're in is 364 all the way up to 379. Therefore, expect that 379 to give us a lot of resistance as it did yesterday, but at some point we're going to pop through it if we keep testing it. The major channel above that is 379 up to 397. We now have a big order flow imbalance above us, but we also have a lot of resistance above us as well. It's probably going to take the next 2 days to go up and get to and through that imbalance. So I expect a try and fail today and a break possibly tomorrow, or a bigger try and fail, or a try and a bigger fail tomorrow. But let's see how this plays out. Let's bring up the scenarios for the day. All right, here we are with the most probable scenario of the day. It's going to be our expanded range A structure. We could have a delayed pop, and when I say delayed pop, we could see a little bit of consolidation right at or just after the cash open, and then get this pop getting us headed up toward either the queen or king resistance level, and finding some consolidation up there before getting a drop back down and starting to chop sideways to down all the way into the overnight session. So that's our expanded range day structure. All right, our next most probable scenario could be our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push higher toward the jack or queen resistance area, find midday chop around either the queen or king resistance before spending the same energy we use going up to go back down the second half of the day. Also, as always, I'm going to put out the vice versa alert on the rounded reversal day type structure. And that vice versa alert, let me make sure, because we do have a jobless claims hitting the tape this morning as well. So that could get us kind of that quick pop up once that jobless claims takes place, and that could kind of put us in a position to where we could kind of get some chop, and we could have a possible vice versa alert where we open gap up and kind of get a continued push lower, and that lower push will be toward the jack or queen support area. And then we find our midday chop around that either jack or queen support area before using the same force that we came down with to kind of go up or go back up with during the second part of the day. But this is a low vice versa alert for the day. All right, here we are with the last scenario, which could be our trend day up day structure, which would mean we would open gap up and start with a fade back toward the previous close. We then would find support on or before that previous close and begin the uptrend for the day, better known as our golden window, the best time to trade. We find midday chop around either the possible queen or king resistance area, and then usually we get a head fake after lunch, acting like it would like to continue the trend up, but that's exactly what it is. It's a head fake, and then we usually get some type of fade going back toward the close. And it's going to be interesting to see, because the bigger the fade going toward the close, the bigger I think a move we're going to have overnight going into Friday. So those are the scenarios that I'll be looking for. As always, your most important job as a trader is to protect the capital that you already have, and we do this by knowing and understanding risk that we have on in each position and managing that risk in accordance to our account size. Again, don't get lulled to sleep. We are having 2 sigma moves almost on a regular basis, and we're becoming desensitized to it. So it's going to relax people into putting on more risk, and that is the wrong thing to do right now. As always, I like to end this by wishing you a positive trading day, wishing you a great one.